Heyo, welcome everybody to another edition of the Lion Country Kia. We're going to call it Obligatory PSU / Goon and Ironhead Show. Obviously, as we talked about on Tuesday, the Ironhead is out doing what he does best in St. Louis, calling the NCAA Wrestling Nationals. So I'm your fake fill-in host, Chris Buchignani. With me, as always, is Keith the Goon Conlon.
Hello.
And our special guest to talk March Madness today
the most special
is beloved campus icon Mike the Mailman.
Are we talking March Madness or March Madness? Are we talking about wrestling or basketball?
Yep.
Yes.
Watching wrestling right now.
Yeah. So right out of the gate, Penn State 5-1 so far on the day. Robbie Howard.
Brooks just kicked off here.
Okay, there we go. Big upset at 125 over Heinzelman of Ohio State. Love to see that. 0-2 against him coming into the tournament, Mike, but he gets the W when it matters.
Unbelievable.
Very
Butch,
Kill Sanderson-like.
Right, Butch, that you said
you did say that.
he chipped away each time. You liked them going into that.
Well, you know, it's been great to sit in for you a couple of times, Goon, and listen to Ironhead talk about this year's team because there were so many unknowns because of the COVID off and on season that we had. A lot of young kids. Howard, for example, was a wrestler who really didn't have much of a chance to get himself into playing shape because he's coming off an injury and then you're missing these matches. And he gets a couple of opportunities to get to know Heinzelman as a wrestler a little bit, even as he's getting more comfortable on the big stage, getting his body into shape. And I just had a really good feeling. You know, this is what Kale does, right? Yep. He gets his guys to peak at the right time.
I mean, you really have to be in good shape to wrestle 7 minutes the way these guys wrestle.
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Right. So conditioning a big thing for Penn State this year and a good reason to be optimistic going forward. But another big NCAA tournament going on right now, guys. March Madness.
Young, though. We're really, really young.
Incredible. The whole team's coming back next year. Awesome. One senior, whole team comes back.
Brooks is up 4-1 with 1:15 to go in the first. So
good.
I did get a message this morning. Alan Weiser, our good friend, a good listener, to the shows. He says, Ironhead better watch. He's not going to make it this Saturday with his voice. He was screaming up and down and yelling. And
you know what?
The first round match. That's how he said it. It's so funny.
Ironhead is just like the team. He spends a whole season gearing up to peak at Nationals. Absolutely.
He's the best at it. He is the best, I'll tell you. Ironhead is the best.
Yeah, I mean, I was genuinely interested with Penn State hosting the Big Tens 2 weeks ago. I asked him on the show, I said, you know, would you be in charge of hosting all of the announcers? Like, would you have like some kind of like get together, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, the equipment guys get together or anything like that. Or I don't know. It'd be pretty cool because, I mean, we know how good he is, but when you go and watch it on the Big Ten Network and you see interviews and other schools are talking about how good he is at calling, it's pretty awesome.
It is. Yep.
To say he's our co-host.
You know, I know when he goes out to Nationals, he tells everybody about how he co-hosts a show with you, Goon.
Co-host the guy with the largest head. They call me Ironhead. Well, you should see this other guy, this Goon fellow. No, but I mean, I've gone the last 4 or 5 years of the wrestling. Mike, you go. Yeah. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing, amazing atmosphere.
Yeah. By the way, I feel like when I do this show with you two guys, I got to get myself a booster seat. Oh, yeah. I'm not short. I'm 6 feet tall, but you know, next to you two, I look like a little bit of a shrimp.
I mean, I'm sitting next to Mike. I look really, 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 really skinny too, probably. You know.
But you know, and I play taller than I look. You know, I do play taller when you know that. But
let's see. What's your confidence level as we get into our brackets? What's your confidence level in the tournament this year?
Hold on. We got to mention something first of all.
Okay.
If you're on your iPad, I'm on my phone. Mike the Mailman, cut out of a newspaper, baby.
Oh, yeah.
What's it, the USA Today or is it the Saturday Daily Times?
Well, probably both. I usually get both.
Old school. I like it. I like it, Mike.
It's a progressive commercial right here. If you're filling your block pools out, if you're filling out your brackets from a newspaper cutout, you're in the right place.
He left his green visor in the car.
Yeah. Right.
Got Sam Rothstein over here picking games. I love it. All right, so you, iPad, newspaper, cell phone.
We're ready to go.
Let's do it. Let's start with the West region and the number 1 overall seed, been number 1 through most of the season, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. We're just going to go through the first round games, guys, and go through our picks. So Anybody not have Gonzaga winning in the first round?
No.
Okay.
I'd say this is the easiest of the four.
I think you're right.
brackets.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is actually, I think this is kind of an interesting 8-9 matchup for the right to take on Gonzaga in the second round. Is you got the 8-9 matchup of Oklahoma versus Missouri. Big 12, really strong conference this year.
Yeah.
The SEC, probably one of their better years, top to bottom, in terms of conference depth. And Kentucky didn't even make the field of 64, which is crazy to me. One of the strongest years, Goon, for the SEC. Kentucky's not even in the tournament. Mike the Mailman, who you got?
I have Oklahoma.
Me too.
Yeah, I saw him play like 5 different times with the Big 12 conference. I saw a lot of those tournament games, and they look good. I mean, they look nice team. I think they're better than I only saw Missouri play once. I wasn't impressed with they. I'm sure they're good, but I don't think they're that good. So I like Oklahoma.
How about you, Goonie?
I have Oklahoma going through, I believe. I'm actually looking something up, which I forgot to look it up the other day. So you just jogged my memory a little bit about Kentucky. When we said Kentucky and Duke, this is the first time they've never not been in the tournament since 1976. Correct? That's what they say.
Correct.
The last undefeated team to come through and win the national title as an undefeated team was 1976. I'm making sure of this.
Indiana Hoosiers. That's
It was
it.
the Indiana Hoosiers in 1976.
So the Zags looking
So
to make history
Gonzaga-
repeat itself.
Could history repeat itself?
Very
May
interesting.
I say something about Duke?
Please do.
When I worked at the post office, they were my favorite team in the tournament because when they lost, I had a big sign: "Life is good, Duke is done." Everyone loved that sign. I love that sign.
Big action here on the left screen there, boys. You got an Iowa Hawkeye going down early.
Uh-oh.
So we all had Oklahoma, right? We got that? Okay.
Yeah. So
Let me double check your head.
Okay.
looks like Aaron Brooks going to take Penn State to 6-1 very easily.
And then if
Okay.
Warner loses from Iowa, that's a huge upset, boys. Huge.
So the 5-12 in the West is Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara. Goon, who you got in this one?
I have actually Oklahoma going through, so I did have Oklahoma. And then what was your question, buddy?
Creighton, UC Santa Barbara.
I don't know. Everybody's always about the 5-12 upsets and this and that, so I'm sure everybody picked UC Santa Barbara, but I went with Creighton.
All right.
Creighton's been down the last couple weeks, but
Right.
But I still like them also. Yep.
See, I'm gonna try to read the tea leaves a little bit and say that they're down coming into the tournament, like you said, Goon. 5-12 matchup. Yeah, I got that. Well, I don't know. They're not the fighting banana slugs, but one of those UC schools is. So I'm just going to call them the banana slugs. I've got Santa Barbara coming out of that one. And then the other half of that matchup, the Cavs of Virginia taking on the Bobcats of Ohio in the 4-13. Mike the Mailman, you say.
I like the Cavs. Yep. Virginia Cavaliers, I like them. Yep.
I
like the cook. I like the coach.
He's got Wisconsin ties. You know?
Yeah.
His father was the head coach of Wisconsin for years, so
That's right.
and they play good defense. But I'm picking Ohio. I mean, UVA is kicked out of their ACC tournament with some COVID thing. They're not even in Indianapolis as of yet. They're not even there yet, and they're expected to play Friday or Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know. I just think that they're ripe for an upset. They really are. I mean, they're so out of there. I mean, they can practice or play because they're in COVID, right?
That's right.
So they've had 8-9 days of no practice, no meetings, nothing. Everything they're Zoom practicing. So I mean that just sets up for an upset right
See,
there.
I'm on
Ohio
that.
can play, man.
I was just going to say, I'm on that. A lot of factors working against Virginia. And the MAC is like quietly a legit conference this year. And Ohio can light up the scoreboard.
Yes,
So that's the thing. You're coming off that long layoff as Virginia, and you play a team that can really score. I've got Ohio pulling the upset there too.
Wow.
all right. We have
Okay.
sudden victory with Warner from Iowa right now, by the way. So
this would be big.
This would
Good
be
for
huge.
Penn State in that team points chase.
Warner's a 5 seed. He would lose to, what is that? I believe that looks like a 20-ish seed. That would be a monster. It would be the biggest upset. 2 points, game over. Iowa. Damn it. Couldn't finish the upset. Damn.
Stupid Iowa.
Yep. I mean, they don't need any extra help, but damn.
Southern
nice.
Cal versus the Wichita Drake matchup winner. Who you got?
I like the Wichita Drake winner. I like either one of those teams.
Who do you think Wichita?
Yeah, Wichita State.
Wichita State?
Yep, I like them. Yep.
over USC, huh?
I just don't think the Pac-12. They call the Pac-12, the Pac-10. What do they call
Pac-12.
it? Pac-12.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got USC winning, and spoiler alert, I got them all the way to the Elite Eight, and now you're scaring the hell out of me because I'm like, why did I pick a Pac-12 team? For God's sake, what was I drinking or smoking when I filled this bracket out? Goon, who you got in this one? The 6-11 in the West.
I took the play-in team. To be
You
honest
did.
with you,
So you think it's going to be Wichita State also?
I just don't. USC, I don't. I mean, historically, they've not really done that well in the NCAA tournament. And I don't think they're any different. I mean, not that I've been watching a lot of it. So my historical context is you got to pick some upsets, and I think that's going to be one.
All right. So to face the winner of Southern Cal versus one of those two teams, Wichita State or Drake. You guys both have Wichita State coming out of that one.
Drake is the favorite, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, Wichita State's the brand name, though, right?
Yep.
So you trust experience maybe over.
Either one of those teams will beat Southern Cal. That's for sure.
They can.
Yep.
Okay, so Kansas, Eastern Washington, Jayhawks advancing.
I got
We all got Kansas in that one. Yeah.
Good. Yep.
Okay. Now, how about this one? I think this is interesting. This is another chance to fade the Pac-12 for you guys. Oregon versus VCU in the 7-10 out west.
I like Oregon this time.
Do you really?
I like Oregon this time. I've seen them play a few times. I think they're the class of the Big Ten. I like them.
Of the Big Ten, the Pac-12.
Pac-12. Yeah.
Yeah, I maybe give you that, Mike. But
even though they have the worst basketball court in the land, ever see their basketball?
It's crazy.
Horrible.
It's crazy. It gives me a headache.
Yes.
Goon, what about you?
I got as much as I would like to pick VCU, I did take Oregon. VCU is coached by a Pennsylvania boy, Rhodes.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see that upset, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I can't be picking too many upsets. I mean, Mike the Mailman is a straightforward chalk type of guy, and I'm going against you guys, so we'll see.
I went back and forth on this one, and I think it's going to be close. I think it could go either way. But I took VCU. They kind of like you said, Goon, a hard overhead pick. But defense, man. Yep. Defense wins championships, right? I got VCU coming out of that one. And they will be facing the winner of Iowa Grand Canyon University. We all get the Hawkeyes advancing at least a round.
I do root for Iowa in basketball. Not wrestling, but basketball.
Yeah. No, absolutely no rooting for Iowa.
I draw the line there.
Right
I like Iowa in basketball. I like it.
One of my favorite players in recent memory is Luka Garza.
Oh, yeah.
Big man who can play in the post, and we were just talking off the air about him.
Yep.
My Luka Garza story is my friend Tommy over here in the crowd watching today's show. We were down at the Palestra game last year, and we walked into the court, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, who's this stiff over here? You know, he's like working on his fundamentals, using the backboard and shooting. And I'm like, all right, I mean, this guy's probably just like a project type of player. And then he goes out and scores like 35 on Penn State in a really, really tough game. And I was like, I mean, he showed me that day how hard he works. And he's one of my favorite players to watch.
Let me ask you both you guys now. Serious question about Garza.
Yeah.
Do you think they make him take the bolts out of his neck himself before every game? Or do you think they have somebody do that for him?
Yes.
Good question. I can't answer that one.
Okay, so not too much disagreement amongst us, but what I'm going to ask you guys to do is give me your 4 Sweet 16 teams, your Elite 8, and then your Final 4 representative out of each region after we go through all the matchups. So I'll start off by giving you mine. Well, I got my Sweet 16. I've got Gonzaga versus Ohio. So I had them coming out over UC Santa Barbara.
Yep.
That would be one of those fun 12-13 matchups. I would like to see that happen. And then I've got USC and Iowa meeting up. And I Goon, you love to favor the Big Ten. I love to fade the Big Ten. I got Iowa losing to SC. I said I'd put them in the Elite 8. Probably a terrible idea. And then I've got Gonzaga coming out of the region.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you one thing, and I did tell you off the air, Butch, and you laughed at me. So I went through all my picks, and I got down, and I looked at my Final 4, and it literally had 4 Big Ten teams.
Oh, that's sad.
And I was like, I got to change this. So then I started really looking, and Gonzaga really doesn't have any kind of threat. But I have Iowa over Kansas and then losing to Gonzaga.
Okay.
I just,
Yeah.
I think Iowa could beat Kansas if that's the matchup.
I'll tell you what, Iowa-Oregon is going to be a damn good game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good game.
Iowa makes me really nervous. Iowa and Michigan, frankly, I have less confidence in those two than I would Ohio State and Michigan State.
Oh, geez, I just realized that.
And then Illinois is great also.
We'll
get to them.
I just realized Michigan, their top players still out with the stress fracture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just realized that.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Well, we're going to get rid of that. So I no longer have 4. I'm now down to 2.
Okay.
Big Ten schools in the Final Four.
Okay, hit me with your Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four in the West.
We have the Zags, Virginia. I have Kansas over Kansas and Iowa, and then I have Zags in Kansas, and I have Zags in Kansas. I just think Iowa. They do have a guy that's hurt, right? One of their top guys is hurt. I think Iowa has an injury in one of their top scorers. I think they do.
You pin me down, Mike. I'm not sure.
I think they do.
I don't think Iowa has maybe missed it.
But
Ohio State, their loss. The kid who had the big first half against Michigan the other day, who got the concussion. They don't know if he's back yet.
It just seems to me like Kansas plays quicker than Iowa. When I've watched both, they seem to play quicker.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's why they're maybe going to have trouble with Oregon as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
But regardless, we all like Gonzaga to come out of the West.
Yeah.
You know what? I may go back. I just replaced my Michigan pickup, and I don't have them in the Final Four anymore. So I'm going to go back to Iowa going into the Final Four.
Good.
I'm going back to Iowa.
I feel like I did God's work then, Goon.
You changed my mind, buddy. I want to go Iowa, so yes.
Okay.
So Goon's got a place of chicken tenders here at the Lube, calling his name.
Baby.
Excellent place to come out and watch the wrestling. A lot of people here watching the wrestling, the basketball tournament, any sport. State College's Quaker Steak and Lube. Call them up, put an order in to take home. Come out here, have a cold one, enjoy some wings or some chicken tenders. Either way, I'm going to give Goon a chance to nosh on those before we get to the other 3 regions. We'll take a break here on the Lion Country Kia
Mailman's gonna have all
an Ironhead show.
Lion Country Kia is offering exceptional deals on your new Kia during Kia's Command the Season event.
We have a nice selection on the 2021 Kia Sportage with various options and prices as low as $26,800, saving you $3,000. Or if you demand big power and towing capacity, slip into one of the 2021 Kia Sorrentos available on our lot, starting at $32,680.
Discover why Kia drivers throughout the area come to Lion Country Kia or visit online at lioncountrykia.com.
Introducing the new dusted Ghost Pepper at Quaker Steak and Lube. 11,700 SHUs of fire dusted on award-winning wings. Try it, or are you afraid of the heat?
He's not getting that car in there.
No, sir.
Hey, look at these 2 troublemakers.
Johnny, how are you?
Wicked car, is that new?
Yeah, it's a Sonata. Let me park it.
Oh, you're not fitting your car in there.
Chris, stop being a smarty pants, all right? Look who's got Smart Park. Even Bruiser can park it. Just hit the clicker. I can park it anywhere.
Beaver Stadium?
Parked it.
Even the Jordan Center?
Parked it.
Even Medler Field?
Even Bruiser parked it.
Hey, you can't park there.
He's got Smart Park!
Wicked smart.
Blaze Alexander Hyundai. It's wicked smart.
Hey, we're back here on the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. Goon almost done.
Mailman got
chewing
4.
Up those delicious Quaker steak
Mailman
chicken
got 4
tenders
down there. I couldn't believe it.
That's good. That was really good.
I am Chris Buchignani. This is Mike the Mailman. We are coming to you from the Obligatory PSU Pregame Show. We're on loan from Obligatory.
That's right.
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
We're okay. We're
absolutely. And we got, as always, Keith the Goon Conlon. Obviously, Jeff Ironhead Byers is out doing his thing in St. Louis at the NCAA wrestling tournament, where Penn State is now 6-1. Almost had a big upset over a 5 seed from Iowa. Didn't quite pull it out. But now we're talking men's basketball, March Madness. We have Gonzaga coming out of the West region. Let's talk about the East, gentlemen, and let's start with the 1 seed, the Michigan Wolverines. You obviously have them coming out of the first round.
I do. First round, yes. I have Michigan, yep.
Oh, man, the 8-9s are great this year. I mean, they're always good, but they're really interesting. So LSU versus St. Bonaventure.
Yep.
Who you got, Mike the Mailman?
I have I want St. Bonaventure, but I'm picking LSU.
You and I did the exact same thing. You really want to pick the Bonnies, right?
I really did.
Yeah.
I love the colors. Brown.
I got to tell you a funny story about that then, but I'm going to get Goon's pick first. LSU, St. Bonaventure, who you got, Goon?
LSU.
Okay.
I got St. Bonnie going through.
Yes.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching the LSU game. I saw it was on before the wrestling. LSU was playing Alabama. It's just superior athletes out there running and jumping, but St. Bonnie can play the game, man.
Yeah,
They're
no doubt.
actually really, really good. And then, that's like that team that's going to come out of the MAC, and they can make some waves out there.
Okay, so real quick, funny story. So I got my broadcast start at Penn State on a student radio station, the Lion 90.7. Props to them. And when I got started, I was on the sports staff. And I got warned coming in by some of the upperclassmen. They're like, now look, a couple years ago, we were broadcasting a baseball game and we were playing St. Bonaventure. And one of our guys described the uniform colors on air as manure brown. And this will be brought up to you by an administrator at some point. Like, you'll be reminded of it. And I was like, that sounds crazy. Like, first of all, like, what could be more innocuous, right? Like, only at Penn State would you have a professor calling, like, I think apparently they called like Graham Spanier or something. Like, a professor called the president of the university because they heard a student say the word manure on radio. But anyway, sure enough, it got brought up to me. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure if I went into Old Main today, they'd be like, oh, hey, are you the manure brown guy?
10 years ago, right?
What's that?
10, 15 years ago?
Try 20 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole decade I missed there. So. Yes, so imagine doing that now in the new culture of the world right now. I mean, you'd be done. You'd be sending letters to St. Bonaventure saying, I'm sorry I called your uniforms doo-doo brown. I apologize. But,
nevertheless, if you look at the uniforms, it's not inaccurate.
That's right.
It's a good color.
5-12 in the East, Colorado versus blazing hot Georgetown.
I like Colorado.
The emotional pick is Georgetown, right?
Yep.
But the better team is probably Colorado.
Yep.
So, okay, Mike
100%
the Mailman.
with you in Colorado. I mean, Georgetown, that's everybody's hot team coming out of their big tournament win. I mean, their record is not that good. I mean, they played good in their tournament and they got hot at the right time, but they'll cool down.
Did they win the tournament, right?
Yeah.
And they're a 12 seed. That says something about the conference.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and the overall season that they had.
Yeah.
Now,
16 and 12, I think.
Yeah.
That said, sometimes, especially this year with how crazy it's been, you need to get that second half of the season to start steadily improving. And Georgetown has done that, no doubt.
Georgetown was 13 and 12.
Wow.
I took them. I heart over head.
Oh, that tough Pac-12. I mean, you just don't like the Pac-12.
Florida State versus NC Greensboro.
I'll go with Florida State.
I like Florida State a lot.
Yeah.
I think they're super well coached. I think Leonard Hamilton is one of the best coaches in college basketball. I think he's got a really good team. I think he's got some favorable matchups in this year's bracket. And yeah, I have them.
And I have a fondness in my heart for Florida State. Last weekend, I had Georgia Tech in the final plus 4.5, and they won the game by 5. So I have a fondness for Florida State.
That's how he works, baby.
Right from the get-go.
So I actually have Florida State in the final game.
Yeah, that's not crazy at all. That is not crazy at all.
No.
But Florida State they can play, man. They got good players out there.
Okay, so now here is, I think, for us in Big Ten country, one of the most interesting first-round matchups. You got BYU, who kind of like BYU's football team this year has looked like a world beater, but it hasn't really beaten anyone. And then you've got they will face the winner of Michigan State UCLA as a play-in game.
I like BYU. I think they have played the Gonzaga better than any team I've seen this year.
Yeah,
they played
for sure
2 or 3 times. They play every game they played. I like BYU.
I took the play-in guys, to be honest with you.
Huh?
I took the play-in.
Did you? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, who do you think is coming out of that play?
I think Sparty can get a little bit angry. Like, people are taking Syracuse because of Jim Boeheim, but I would take Izzo this time of year.
Izzo, yeah.
All the time.
Yep.
I got Tom Izzo in March.
Yep.
Tough,
that's right.
Defensive-minded, and had an absolute tear at the end of the regular season, despite being not a good team.
But out of respect for recently injured Sean Bradley, you may have to take BYU.
Oh, yeah. What a terrible story. That is a terrible story.
How does a person 7'6" get a bike? Wow. I
shouldn't
God help him. He's paralyzed and it stinks, but you're 7'6".
Yeah.
It's just very odd to me.
It's awful. Sean Bradley, man, if Sixers fans can tell you, the nicest guy on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is absolutely heartbreaking to me.
He probably did not even want to play basketball, but he had to because he was 7'6". Made a lot of money.
And he was a force of nature in college.
Sad.
So maybe there you go. Maybe the Cougars go out and at least win one for the alumnus.
Can't teach shies. You can't teach shies. Okay, Jimmy.
So we're split. Mike the Mailman, probably, I think that's the head over heart pick, I think.
Yeah.
But, again, sometimes you just got to defer to every year. Izzo finds a way to win one or two games. He really should. He's no business.
Yep.
And take the team on a run. So I've got Michigan State going through. So does Goon. Mike the Mailman says BYU. And to face them, they got the winner of Texas versus Abilene Christian. Anybody not take Shaka Smart and the Longhorns there?
Yeah. I think Texas has the best two guards in college basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
Number one and number two. Number two, I think his name is Campbell. I've never seen anyone have so much fun on a basketball court. Of course, scoring 30 points the night I saw him play, I could see why he's having fun. But they look really good. I like them. I like Texas a lot. I like the Longhorns.
Goon, you got Texas?
I have Texas in the Final Eight.
Yeah. Yep.
Going all the way through.
Okay.
I like Texas. Texas can play, man.
Yep.
Here's a 7-10 matchup out east that I'm interested in. Connecticut versus Maryland.
Yep.
Goon, who you got?
I actually went with the heart in the Big Ten. I just think that Maryland was playing. They're not that bad. They can get hot. I think they get hot for this game. I just don't see UConn really being all that. I think that the fact that the Big Ten was just such a dominant, like head and shoulders above the rest of the leagues, and Maryland played some pretty damn good teams.
Yep.
I got Maryland going.
I have UConn. I just think Maryland's been up, like you said, they've been up and down. I don't know what team's going to show up. I mean, some nights they look really good. Other nights they look like, what are they doing? So
so I have a rule I try to stick by. I don't put any faith in any college basketball team that lost to Penn State. So I got UConn. As soon as I was like Maryland, lost to Penn State, you're out. You're
Twice.
done.
They did.
Yeah,
4
unbelievable.
of the last 5.
Yes, yeah. Total mess, which I really enjoyed, by the way, because when they came into the conference, that was supposed to be their big thing, right?
Yep.
Like, maybe we got some growing to do when it comes to football, but we're going to roll right in and make you better in basketball.
Yep.
And then their fan base
That's what they brought to the table.
talks so much unearned smack against Penn State.
That's right.
And then we have like the most god-awful Power 5 basketball program on earth, and we just whoop their tails every single time we play them. It's phenomenal.
Well, go back to what you're saying about Maryland coming into the league, and they bought very, very good basketball to this league. They also bought very good women's sports.
Yeah, for sure.
They're high echelon women's sports.
Yeah, like you can say Maryland actually brought some things. Like Rutgers was total garbage.
That's what I'm going to say. Rutgers has bought nothing.
Yeah.
I will talk about that though, because here we are talking down to Rutgers.
I think I have Rutgers advancing too.
Okay, and then Alabama versus Iona in the 2-15 in the East.
That's the Patino guy, right? He has Iona. That's the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go with Alabama.
Yeah.
Mike, what's Iona's mascot?
I have no clue.
Really?
I don't know.
They're the Gales.
The
Gales.
Is there another team as the Gales? I thought there was another team.
It could be, but the Iona Gales.
Iona Gale. Wow, that's a nice mascot.
Yeah, I got Bama going over. That's like the. I mean, maybe the SEC doesn't really like Rick Pitino too much. The NCAA said, you know what, we're going to put him against our best team and have them beat the crap out of his little Iona team.
So I think this is the most interesting region for Penn State fans, because there's a bunch of programs, our Big Ten fans, maybe a bunch of programs you'd pay attention to. So, like, obviously we're watching Michigan State, Maryland, what happens there. Georgetown's an interesting story, whether or not you believe in them. Florida State, how far can they go? Like, really, really interesting group of teams here in the East. So we're going to do the same thing, your Sweet 16, your Elite 8, and then who comes out. Goon, you want to start us off?
I told you I got Florida State in my final game. So I think they're going to get hot. I got them beating Texas, and then I have Maryland going to the 16 and losing to Texas. So Maryland's going to win 2 games in my.
So this is interesting. Who do you have Florida State playing in the Sweet 16?
In my Sweet 16,
because that's the
Texas. I have Alabama losing to Maryland.
No, not in the Sweet 16. You're talking about in the the Elite Eight.
I'm on my phone, remember?
Yeah, no sweat.
So I got Maryland beating Alabama.
Okay.
To get to the Sweet 16.
Not going to happen, but all right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey.
Okay, so my question about
the Big Ten
Florida State in the Sweet 16, they play the winner of Michigan LSU or Michigan St. Bonaventure in your case.
Yes, sir.
So who is Florida State beaten to go to the Elite Eight? It's hard to say.
Michigan.
Okay. Mike, the fully vaccinated mailman.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you. I have Michigan, Florida State, Texas, and Alabama. I have Florida State and Alabama, and I have Bama coming to the Final Four. Bama.
You and I have everything identical except I have Michigan State beating Texas.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Oh, okay.
Tom Izzo wins 2 games he has no business winning, and then he's out. Okay.
Can Alabama use any of their football players at all or not? Just a question. I don't know. I don't know how these tournaments work.
Alabama can play, man.
I know they can. Yeah. I think they're good.
They can attack
the rich get richer. Listen, Alabama's got a really good team, but the one reason why I felt confident picking them to go to the Final Four is if there's one thing that is true in sports, it's that fans who absolutely do not deserve to see their team keep winning always get to see their team keep winning. And you can just ask Boston Bruin fans all about that.
That's funny.
Although the Bruins didn't lose 9-0 to a team with no coaches, so I guess I should keep my trap shut.
Wow.
Okay, so so far we've all got Gonzaga coming out of the West. Mike the Mailman and I have Alabama in the Final Four out of the East, and Goon's got Florida State. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot.
Yep.
And now we're going to go up to the South. And we'll start at the top of the bracket. Number 1 seed Baylor.
Yep.
Like the Bears a lot this year.
Yep.
I have them over Hartford. I think we all do. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
So now that, again, another super fascinating 8-9 matchup. The Tar Heels versus the Badgers, a contrast of styles.
2 blue blood programs right after it. An 8-9 matchup.
Calling Wisconsin a blue blood. That's bold.
Well, I mean, yeah. For the Big Ten, I think they really have been.
Well, what's the guy's name that coaches North Carolina? What's his name? I should know it.
Roy Williams.
Yeah. He's 29-0 in first-round games. You know that, right?
I did not know that.
29-1 after this week.
Oh, I'm taking UNC. 29-0 first round. Wow.
I'm with you, Goon. 29-1.
All right.
The final score will be.
You guys love the Big Ten. That's fine.
Final score will be 42-38. Wisconsin.
I want Wisconsin to play UVA. It's going to be like the first team to get to 11 wins.
I'm jumping ahead here a little bit. Do you have Baylor beating North Carolina in the next round?
Yes.
I think the winner of this game is a moot point. Either one of them isn't getting past Baylor.
Yeah.
Baylor's legit, man.
All right, so staying in the South, which is the upper right-hand region on the bracket, the 5-12 is Villanova versus Winthrop, which is someone not a huge dog in the fight, but, I'm a Philly fan. I pull for the Big Five schools.
Yeah, I do too.
I got kind of a bad feeling about this one. What do you guys think?
I like Coach. I like Nova's coach. I think he's a pretty sharp guy.
Sure.
Yeah, take Villanova. Take Nova. Villanova. Definitely.
Goon?
I took Villanova also. I don't like Villanova. I don't like them at all, actually. I like Jay Wright though, so
Jay Wright,
I don't like what I shouldn't say that. I don't like Villanova. What happened back in the day? You said Big Five. That upsets me. With Raleigh destroying the Big Five, and it's well known. But I don't. I like them, and they're missing one of their top players right now too. But I don't see Winthrop pulling the upset on them. But I don't see Villanova advancing very far.
Okay, so do you remember in the mid to late 90s, after Duke had that run?
Not really. That was a tough time.
Coach K had really established himself. They'd won a couple of national championships. And then Duke had that little dip where they were getting by mostly on brand name recognition, but they'd get to March and fizzle out early. I think that's where Nova is right now. I got Winthrop pulling the upset.
Wow.
It's been a rough go at the end of the season for Nova. They're a 5 seed based on body of work. But if you were to take like the last quartile of the year and seed the teams, they would be a lot lower down.
Okay.
So I got Winthrop pulling that upset.
Yeah.
And to face the winner of Villanova Winthrop, the 4-13 in the South, the Purdue Boilermakers versus North Texas, the Mean Green.
I think I'm taking my first Big Ten team, Purdue. I like Purdue because I need to pick some Big Ten team.
You're trying the little Micah Shrewsbury positive mojo.
Yeah,
All right,
that's it.
all right, I got you. Goon, who you got in this one?
I got, obviously, you know who I'm going to go with the
Of course,
Boilermakers.
but
Big Ten across the board.
Don't they have a good consistent coach or something? Purdue.
Yeah,
Matt Painter.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
That's a head
The
coach.
assistant
What
coach.
about the assistant?
Oh, a
coach?
good assistant coach. Yeah,
Don't they?
yes.
He's going to be a good football or a good basketball coach
Has
somewhere
Purdue
someday.
cornered the market on 7-foot guys?
I think you're right.
They have a 7'2" guy out there.
7-2 every time.
So Purdue's front court, I think, is populated the same way Wisconsin does its quarterback position. Like sometime like the late 1980s, they got like one DNA strain, and then they just kept cloning the same guy over and over again. That's the Purdue front court. But bad news for the Boilermakers. If Buchignani's got any sort of predictive power, I got the Mean Green pulling the upset. I hate Purdue. Purdue has ruined so many brackets for me over the course of the year. I just pick against them reflexively now. The hell with Purdue.
That's a good reason.
I've got this is such a ridiculous bracket. I've got 2 12-13 second round games because I've got Winthrop versus North Texas.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, we're in the upper right hand region of the bracket, the South region, the 6-11 Texas Tech versus Utah State. Another one of those Big 12 teams. Mike, the fully vaccinated mailman, who you got?
I have Texas Tech because I'm not too for Utah State. I haven't seen them.
You know what? I don't really know jack about them. I know Texas Tech's good though,
Yeah.
so I picked them as well.
Yeah.
Goon?
Texas Tech also.
Okay.
I got
3 for
friends
3
there.
for the Red Raiders versus the Aggies, right? The Aggies of Utah State. Is that what they are?
What was it, 2 years
Yeah, I
ago? They
think
were in
it
the
is.
final game, right?
That's right. They were.
Yeah.
They lost to UVA.
That's right.
Only one holdover from that team on
Is that
this year's
really?
roster.
They lost that many, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean,
you know how college basketball
is.
is, right? You turn the roster over pretty quickly. Goon, you and I were just talking about the Corliss Williamson days down in Little Rock, and Arkansas basketball is back.
We'll get to them, who they remind me of.
The number 3 Razorbacks versus Colgate, the 14 seed.
Yeah.
Anybody taking Colgate to pull the upset?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't think so.
Nope.
It's, I think, kind of an interesting game. Again, one of those teams talking about Penn State and where we hope maybe the basketball program can go one day.
Yep.
Wasn't too long ago that Virginia Tech was in just about the same spot that Penn State was.
Yep.
And, they brought in Buzz Williams to come in and try to elevate that program. We're hoping maybe after a couple years, Shrewsbury can do the same thing here in Happy Valley. Number 7 Florida versus the 10 seed Virginia Tech. Goon, who you got? I faked you out there, Mike. I faked you out. Head fake, mailman fake.
Oh, me?
Yep.
I go Virginia Tech. I like Virginia Tech, and I think that I know I'm saying I'm up and down with the SEC, but I'm not sold on the whole SEC thing. I mean, when it comes to conference play, great athletes, and they could run and jump and score, but it still comes down to a game, and I think that Virginia Tech might be a better team.
I know that when Penn State played Virginia Tech, Penn State was like an 8.5-point dog, and Penn State beat them outright. I think it was the first game of the year, so I got to go with Florida. Sorry.
Again, keeping with my rule, if you lose to Penn State in basketball, you're done. I got the Gators. And then wrapping it up, I've got the 2-15 matchup here of Ohio State versus Oral Roberts. We all going with the Buckeyes in this one?
Go with
Absolutely.
The Buckeyes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You know the deal by now. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, out of the South. Mike, go.
I have Baylor and Villanova, Arkansas and Ohio State, and I have Baylor and Arkansas. I like Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Final Fours.
Baylor, we're all on. I got Baylor, Purdue beating Villanova.
Yeah.
Because I'm
okay.
Big
Wow.
Ten.
All right.
Big Ten.
Yes, sure, of course.
Texas Tech, Arkansas, and then Virginia Tech, Ohio State. So Virginia Tech getting into the 16 again. So I got Arkansas playing Ohio State.
So you have Virginia Tech over Ohio State?
I do not. No, I was one round behind there.
Okay, so you have Ohio State in the Sweet 16.
I have Ohio State going into the Elite 8.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and who do you have winning between Texas Tech and Arkansas, Goon?
Arkansas.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game. We might all not be giving Texas Tech enough credit because I did the same as you, Mike. I had Baylor, Arkansas, and Ohio State, all Sweet 16 teams, but I had North Texas because I have, again, that 12-13 matchup in the preceding round. I've got Baylor and Arkansas advancing to the Elite Eight, and I've got Baylor coming out of that region. I like Baylor a lot.
Yep, I had Ohio State, but then I had to go back and get rid of all my my Big Ten loyalty. So I actually don't mind. I mean, I had Ohio State beating Baylor going in, but I came back and I took.
Baylor had a good run, and then they got the COVID hit them, I think, and they had to take a couple of weeks off. And everyone thinks they're slow in getting back, but they're back. I think they're a strong enough team to be back.
If you watch them in the Big 12 tournament, they looked like they're going to be a tough out.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Okay, well, we're going to jump to another break, and when we come back, we're going to do the last of 4 regions. Chris Buchignani filling in for Jeff Ironhead Byers, Keith Goon Conlon. We're joined by our special guest picker, Mike, the fully vaccinated mailman. Stay with us here on the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show. Be right back.
Lion Country Kia is offering exceptional deals on your new Kia during Kia's Command the Season event.
We have a nice selection on the 2021 Kia Sportage with various options and prices as low as $26,800, saving you $3,000. Or if you demand big power and towing capacity, slip into one of the 2021 Kia Sorrentos available on our lot, starting at $32,680.
Discover why Kia drivers throughout the area come to Lion Country Kia or visit online at lioncountrykia.com.
Introducing the new dusted Ghost Pepper at Quaker Steak and Lube. 11,700 SHUs of fire dusted on award-winning wings. Try it, or are you afraid of the heat?
Hi, Johnny Broom here. If you're in the market for a new Hyundai or a pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, nobody beats a Blaze Alexander deal. But don't take my word for it.
Hey, Goon says tell him Johnny sent you.
Hey, tell him Johnny sent ya.
Tell him Johnny sent you.
Wait, tell him Juan or tell him Johnny sent you?
Tell him Johnny sent you.
Here at Bill Pickle's Tap Room, we say,
tell him Johnny sent you.
And remember,
Hey-o, we are back. We're coming to you live from State College's Quaker Steak and Lube, a great place to dine in or eat out anytime, but especially in the month of March when there's so much going on. They're going to have all the action from the NCAA wrestling tournament on the many flat panel TVs all over the restaurant. They're going to have March Madness going on. A lot of reasons to come out here to the Lube, or if you want to just party and watch at home, a great place to put an order in, get some food. So thanks to Quaker Steak and Lube here in State College. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Lion Country Kia, and also to Blaze Alexander Hyundai. We love you guys. Mike the Mailman loves you guys. So listen to Mike the Mailman. Absolutely. And that's us, Mike the Mailman and Chris Buchignani, kind of collectively filling the void left by Ironhead while he is out in St. Louis. Check us out on the Obligatory PSU podcast. Find it wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll be back on TV in the fall. And just the steady anchor, the presence that holds the whole thing together, the straw stir in the drink, the glue,
the
former Penn State offensive
manure-colored eye
Keith Goon Conlon.
May I share some with you guys about
Please do.
The best thing about a basketball court, it can hold 4 wrestling matches. You know, you put 4 wrestling
no
matches.
doubt.
Yeah, that's the best thing I like.
Yeah,
I mean, I was telling Booch the other day how you go to the wrestling.
I do.
It is pretty amazing how they just run back and forth, and it's just like it's so disciplined.
Oh,
it's like they're done. Whistle blows. They have 2 new guys out there. I mean, obviously it's changed now with the whole COVID, and they're really cleaning the heck out of these mats here. But very impressive. It's really it's you see what they were doing, Mikey, with the
I saw that
the heated radon, the heated things, and killing all. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean they got to keep it. But they don't want anything to go wrong.
But wrestling is an old school sport. I mean,
it's an original sport.
Yep, it's unbelievable. I've been going there wrestling many years. But it's been fun.
Yes, and I told Booch the other day, I highly recommend if you've never gone to one and you have the ability to go to one, go. Not a match, just the tournament. The nationals is just unbelievable.
That's my favorite collegiate sport is wrestling.
Is it really?
Yep, by far. Yep.
Who were nicer guys, football players or wrestlers?
Oh, no question, wrestlers.
I'm telling Brandon,
we've had too much personal experience with the football players to think differently. Let me tell you. So we're going through the March Madness bracket here, guys. Just to review, we all have Gonzaga coming out the west, the upper left-hand region. Lower left-hand, the east. We split. Mike the Mailman and I both like the Crimson Tide, the 2 seed. And Goon has Florida State, who is the 4 seed coming out. So we're all kind of down on Michigan with good reason, I think. And we just talked about the South region up in the upper right-hand quadrant of the bracket. And Mike,
I think we're all in the same boat with Baylor, right?
Yeah, Mike and I had Baylor, and you did as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we all have Baylor coming out. Okay, so now let's talk about the Midwest to wrap it up. The Illinois Fighting Illini. I know you've got some Illini fans in your circle, Goon. So you've been telling me that there's been hype around this team all the way
all year. These guys have been in my ear
opening tip-off
all year. How they were telling me that this is the team, and I had an honest question with Booch the other day, and I blew your mind a little bit. Who does this Illinois team remind you of? And I gave him 3. Well, I'll ask you, Mikey. I gave him 3 guesses. Not guesses, but I'll give you 3 choices. So with Cockburn, Coburn, whatever the hell we're calling him now in the middle, 7'1", 300-pound guy, right? Reminds you a lot of Shaq.
It does.
I mean, you get the ball to him in the paint, it's going to get dunked, and there's people going to be falling off of him and hitting him, and he has no game outside of that.
No,
he's a defensive presence, and he can get the ball low and dunk, and he's just a big, strong dude. He reminds me of Shaq, and they have the good outside shooting, and the guys who can attack the freaking rim. So they remind me of the LSU teams with Shaq and Chris Jackson.
Oh yeah,
in the early '90s, and then the other 2 opportunities were Corliss Williamson at Arkansas under Nolan Richardson.
Nolan Richardson, yeah.
That's 48 minutes of hell, whatever he called it.
Yep.
You know, that pressure defense and how they could just attack the rim. Because that's what that's the biggest word I could describe Illinois is they attack the freaking rim. I mean, every one of them can get there. And then the other third one was the UNLV teams of the early '90s, the Running Rebels of Tark.
That's who I thought of when you said who do they remind you of?
They could play, man. They can really freaking play. And I told my guys in Illinois, I said, listen, if they take away the inside game from them, if they cut off the lane from them, they got to shoot. And I don't know if they could do that. And that's what scares. But I got them winning it.
So you got to figure out from your contacts at Illinois whether this team's got a comparable salary pool to the UNLV team.
Yeah, right? Unbelievable. Well, those teams were fun to watch, man. I watched that whole Big Ten tournament. And, once Penn State lost, I did watch Illinois, and I was very, very impressed by them.
I just didn't want Ohio State to win, so God bless them.
And I don't want Michigan to win. I got to talk about this on the air.
But
I have to get it off my chest. My most hated play in basketball happened 3 times this weekend, and that is a team that's down 1 or 2 points or maybe even tied, and they have a point guard who comes down the court, dribbles around, thinks he's Allen Iverson and this and that, and he just throws up a contested fadeaway 3-point shot.
I also hate that. I hate that.
Can't stand it.
Yes.
Michigan did it against Ohio State. Their point guard with the big throw, he sat outside, dribbled the ball around, and then attack the hoop, kick the ball out if that's what you want to do. But you don't need a 3-pointer, and all 3 and LSU did it against Alabama. And I watched another team do it the other day, and I was just like, I was flipping
move the
out.
ball around,
just
make the other team play defense,
drive the hoop, kick it, hand it off, and if you get take it. You don't want to fade away 3-pointer contested when you need 1 or 2 points to win.
Yeah,
it just drives me absolutely nuts, bonkers. Attack the rim, play defense. Attack the rim, draw a foul, hit free throws.
Look,
I told you I wanted to
trying to be a little bit. I will try to be a little even-handed. I will say, Juwan Howard's done a hell of a job maintaining and elevating Michigan basketball after Beeline left. It's tough to come in there and replace a guy who was that consistently successful.
They are
good for them.
playing for him, man.
Yep.
But I think we are all rooting hard against Michigan in this tournament. Right?
I would love to know the exact story. I heard Turgeon and I heard Juwan Howard talking about the little dust up they had in the first half in their big game.
Yeah.
Was it said what was supposedly said, what was rumored to be said? Because if it was, that is freaking hilarious. So the rumor came out that Turgeon said, "Don't you hang that banner because they come down at Michigan." I mean, I was like, "Oh no!" And that's like right in, like Juwan, you ain't kicking his chin, right? And I don't know. And then he denied it. in his press conference, I said, there was a rumor out there of what I said. I did not say that. He just said that, I guess in a roundabout way, is that Juwan Howard may talk a little too much like he's still playing to the opposing team. And he stood up for his guys because I guess that Turgeon had already complained to the Big Ten twice about it. And nobody did anything, so he actually went up there and said, "Shut up, Juwan! Don't talk, don't talk to me or my guys."
Juwan Howard's a 2-time NBA champion.
By 20 years, I think.
Do you know how? He was the 15th man on the Miami Heat bench with those LeBron James teams. Yeah, sure. You wouldn't have known it to watch the games, but he sure was. Wow. Okay, so getting back to the brackets, we're in the Midwest region. The 8-9 matchup is Loyola Chicago, the 8. Georgia Tech, the 9. Mike the Mailman, you went with?
The Georgia Tech, I like Georgia Tech. That's a 9. Oh, yeah. Although Loyola Chicago, don't they have the nun or something?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think she may have passed away.
No, she's back. She's out
she's
there.
101 years old.
They said that Sister So-and-so is back in the tourney this year.
Awesome.
Sister Jean,
Good.
Yep.
Sister Jean.
I went with Sister Jean. Upset now. Now I'm like, I can't pick against Sister Jean.
Yeah, I took Loyola, actually.
I took Georgia Tech.
I do like Georgia Tech's team, but I took Loyola. Oh, I don't think it matters. They're going to run into Illinois.
They're going to run into Illinois in round 2, and they're going to get whooped.
5-12. Tennessee versus Oregon State coming in with some momentum after winning the Pac-12 tournament. Goon, who you got in this one?
Tennessee.
Also Tennessee. Volunteers.
I love those conference tournament winners. I love coming to the tournament with momentum.
Good.
I hate the Tennessee athletics program in general. I'm always going to root against Tennessee in everything. So I got the Beavers.
But I think that is very similar to the Georgetown pick.
Yeah.
They're hot right now, so everybody's jumping on them and this and that. But they had a week to cool off now. And I don't think they can continue on. I think that they come back down to earth. They played a great weekend. Now they take a week off and then they got to come back and play again. So
tiny little bit of a spoiler. I may have talked to you guys a little bit about what direction you were going with some of these picks, and I had a feeling there's going to be a lot of head over heart on this side of the table. So I'm going to speak for the people.
I have a lot of
you sure do. Yes. I'm going to make the lazy picks, the emotional picks wherever I can. Oklahoma State versus Liberty.
Actually, it's a better matchup than it looks.
Liberty football, Liberty basketball.
Liberty basketball is not that
Look
bad.
out.
But I like Oklahoma State. They have that real good player or something. The player of the year.
Yeah. They get great. I mean, I'm telling you, the Big 12
I agree.
is killer this year. I like the Big 12 in the tournament this year.
I like the Cowboys. Yep.
Goon.
I got the Oklahoma State going through. And I actually don't mind Oklahoma State and Liberty. They're so okay, go back. The 5-12 is like everybody's golden matchups. I think that the 4-13s they're usually pretty damn good games. And there's usually some big upsets in those.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
So the 6-11 in this region, kind of like a team that doesn't deserve to be there and a team that perennially underperforms in the tournament. The 6 seed San Diego State versus the 11 Syracuse.
I like the Aztecs. San Diego State. I don't know why.
There's again, if you just look at the matchup on paper, there's absolutely no reason San Diego State should not get out of the round. Goon, what do you think?
I got San Diego State because I will not, I repeat, not ever, 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 ever root for Syracuse.
I've got no money on the line. I am speaking for the people. I'm taking the lazy emotional pick every time. I got Jim Boeheim.
That hurts.
Just like Tom Izzo. Crappy team. Absolutely has no business winning these games. But what do? Reliably, every year in the tournament, go a couple rounds deep, whether they should or not. I got the Orange winning that one.
Okay.
And they will face the winner of West Virginia versus Morehead State. Bob Huggins.
I like
that guy has been coaching a long time.
I like Huggins. I like West Virginia. Yeah, I like the
Mountaineers. I'm with Mikey on this one. I like Huggy Bear.
Yep. Remember back in the day when he was at Cincinnati and he had the Bluto Blatarski graduation rate?
That was always crazy.
He had a 0.0 graduation rate.
Unbelievable.
Good for you, Huggy Bear. But I have them advancing at least to the second round. So here we've come to it. We're just poking fun at the Rutgers athletic program, but we've got half our roster in the transfer portal, and Rutgers is in the tournament. They're the 10 seed facing the 7 seed Clemson Tigers. Mike, who you got?
I have Clemson because I'm not confident in the Big Ten anyway. So.
Well, you guys know my rule, but Goon, you
know what I'm going with.
Guy.
I'm going with straight Big Ten, 9-0 in the first round, baby.
Yeah, once again, very easy. I know almost nothing about Clemson basketball, but I do know Rutgers lost to Penn State. You lost to Penn State, you're done. So I got Clemson moving on. And then, it's not Phi Slamma Jamma, but Houston's the 2 seed, and they're facing Cleveland State. You all got the Cougars moving on?
Yep.
You know what, Booch? You just reminded me. The Phi Slamma Jamma could be the 4th option of that Illinois team who they remind you of.
That's right. That's right.
They were a pretty damn good team, man. They had some studs. Elijah Drexler.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
I always thought, I was probably a little too young to appreciate this kind of stuff when it happened, but the Houston Rockets reuniting Clyde and Hakeem for the second title, that was pretty cool. They had to take advantage of the window while Jordan was retired.
I was too young for that, too.
/ suspended for gambling. Yes, I know you were.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay. Midwest region, lower right-hand quadrant of the bracket. Very easy. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4. Keith Goon Conlon.
I got Houston over Rutgers.
Okay.
Houston over West Virginia. Okay.
Yep.
West Virginia over San Diego State to get there. Oklahoma State is over Tennessee, but losing to Illinois.
Yep.
Illinois is the 1 seed, taking on the 2 seed Houston Cougars, and the Illini are in my Final 4.
Okay.
Sweet 16, I have Illinois, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, and Houston. And I have Oklahoma State beating Illinois, and they're beating Houston. They're going to be my Final 4, Oklahoma State.
Interesting. We're all over the map on this one, guys, because
buddy.
here's my Sweet 16. I've got Illinois versus Oklahoma State. I've got Syracuse versus Houston. I've got the Cowboys versus the Cougars, Oklahoma State versus Houston in the Elite 8. And I have Oklahoma State going to the Final 4.
Wow.
You are guys on the Big 12.
Yeah, I went all with the Big 12.
Yep.
So, Final 4, I've got Gonzaga versus Alabama.
Right.
I've got Baylor versus Oklahoma State. By the way, I don't feel great about that. Again, I just wanted to mix things up. I do think Illinois has got a really good team. They're going to be a tough out there. But I think regardless, I think my final is going to be Alabama-Baylor.
I have to interject here real quick, Booch.
And let me just say, again, Alabama is an example of the rich getting richer. And I don't buy Gonzaga. I never do.
SEC's not
Never.
happy with them winning the SEC title in hoops and football. So let's go back. I want to talk about the Midwest region.
All right.
The amount of orange. I was just looking at it because I'm like, I want Oregon State to play Oklahoma State because they are the exact same colors, and it's always O State. And I'm like, which one is it, Oak or Or? And we have Clemson.
Syracuse.
They also have Syracuse, the actual orange. Oklahoma State, Oregon State, Tennessee, and Illinois.
Don't forget Oregon State. Or did you say that?
I said Oregon State, Oklahoma State, yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. Loyola Chicago is more of they're like a maroon and gold,
yeah.
right? Drexel, yeah. God bless, but you're going to get shellacked. But that's a lot of orange in there. A lot of orange.
It would take a couple of upsets, but you could potentially have an all orange Sweet 16. You have Illinois, Oklahoma State, Syracuse, and Clemson. You could be all orange.
That's
teams.
a lot
there
of upsets, buddy.
This is you come to this program for that kind of hard hitting analysis.
That's right.
Although you know what, that's the best way to pick your bracket. I told Goon this the other day, Mike. The absolute worst performance of the March Madness bracket I have had in my life was
this is actually pretty funny.
When I got super sick the week of when you fill out the brackets and the first round starts. So for 2 or 3 days, I was totally laid up, and all I did was lay on the couch and watch ESPN and listen to the experts analyze the bracket.
I always turn it off.
And those brain worms got into me, and I picked my whole bracket based on what the ESPN experts said, and it was a dumpster fire. It was a disaster.
I mean, this is
terrible.
a crazy year, obviously, with the whole COVID and pandemic thing. I mean, I don't expect it to be any kind of nothing go wrong, to be honest with you. I mean, I know that they're in a bubble and this and that, but there's a lot of stuff that can happen. And we lost, 3 teams last week in their conference tournaments that couldn't finish the tournament up.
Is that why they started on Friday instead of Thursday? Because of that?
What's that?
Tournament?
I don't know because I think that they're going Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
and
Monday now.
Yeah. I thought they did that so that Duke and Kansas get back into play. That's what I thought. Or whoever. I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm with you, bud. I mean, how I had COVID, and you're locked down. You're not allowed to leave for 10 days.
Yep.
I mean, that's not 10 days that UVA had. Was it a player or was it a tier 1 individual?
Yep. Oh,
how are they not making the rules and saying you're not playing? Again, I go back to they're not practicing.
Yeah.
They can't practice.
Yep. Wow.
It's you're going to go play a tournament game, and it's just weird, crazy to think about. Should be an awesome tournament, dude. I mean, I'm just happy we're having a freaking tournament.
Yeah,
this time
sure.
last year, we were sitting here like, oh, God, what the hell do we do, you know?
What are we going to do?
Yep.
So I got Baylor over Bama. Goon, who do you have in the title game, and who do you have winning it all?
I have Florida State versus Illinois in the final.
Okay.
I have the Illini winning.
The Big Ten champion.
Big Ten.
I like that. All right.
mean, I will reiterate, you heard me say it before. The first time I went through, I had 4 Big Ten teams. I had Michigan, and then I realized you guys were talking, and I forgot that their best player is hurt, so I don't see them coming out.
Are you looking for free tickets for Penn State basketball? What are you doing with all these Big Ten teams?
Not really happy with Penn State basketball as we speak.
Okay. I have Baylor and Gonzaga, and I have Gonzaga win it all.
So you think
the undefeated, huh?
Yep.
76 to 2021, huh?
Yep. There's been 5 or 6 teams coming into the tournament undefeated that they have not won. The llast team to do it was Indiana in 76.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here, guys, and thanks everybody for watching and putting up with Mailman and me.
He's a horrible guest. It's a brutal picker.
Who do you think the best team in college basketball was this year?
This year?
Yeah.
I'll pass. I have not watched enough, to be honest with you. I have not watched Gonzaga play, so I don't know.
I think Gonzaga has 7 good guys.
Yeah.
To me, you need 7, at least 7, and they put those guys in. To me, it was Gonzaga. I saw them many times. I stay up late and watch. I'm retired. I can stay up late now.
Yeah, I think I would probably tend to agree with you, Mike, that I think they were the best team. I thought Baylor was really good. I liked Baylor a lot, but I don't know. They have had so many good teams, and they have just not gotten it done. I can't get on board. I can't get on board. But I do think they're the best team. I think they're the best team.
I have an honest question.
Yeah.
Has Gonzaga won a title?
No, I mean, they've been knocking on the door.
They've been knocking for a dozen, 15, 20 years.
I remember when they
were able to get over that hump, man.
I remember when Gonzaga was still like a sleeper Cinderella pick, and the only thing anyone knew about him was that John Stockton went there.
Yep.
That's right.
And now they are absolutely in the top tier. Yep. But I don't call them a blue chip program because you got to have a title. Yes. You got to at least win a championship.
I've not won one yet, so I'm not picking them to win it.
Okay.
I mean, I think like Villanova is pretty close to being able to call itself a blue chip program, but that's it. You got to get to the title game. You got to win it.
They've not done it, man.
So huge opportunity for Gonzaga, huge opportunity for our viewing audience to come down to Quaker Steak and Lube
tomorrow
over the course of the tournament, watch some wrestling, watch some basketball. Right. On Tuesday, the Ironhead will be back to break down all the hopefully great news for Penn State coming out of nationals. And so, Goon, you and Ironhead will be back together Tuesdays, Thursdays, 3 to 4 p.m. You know where to find us. Please patronize our sponsors. If you're buying a car in State College, Lion Country Kia or Blaze Alexander Hyundai, 2 great places to go check out. Quaker Steak and Lube, always. The Obligatory PSU podcast, great option wherever you get your podcasts. And, I'm sure I'll be back here sooner rather than later when one of the 2 of you goes off on vacation again.
This is true, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
For Keith Goon Conlon and Mike, the fully vaccinated mailman, I am Chris Buchignani. Take care of y'all and have a good weekend.
Enjoy it.
Go State. Beat Iowa.
Lion Country Kia is offering exceptional deals on your new Kia during Kia's Command the Season event.
We have a nice selection on the 2021 Kia Sportage with various options and prices as low as $26,800, saving you $3,000. Or if you demand big power and towing capacity, slip into one of the 2021 Kia Sorrentos available on our lot, starting at $32,680.
Discover why Kia drivers throughout the area come to Lion Country Kia or visit online at lioncountrykia.com.
Introducing the new dusted Ghost Pepper at Quaker Steak and Lube. 11,700 SHUs of fire dusted on award-winning wings. Try it, Or are you afraid of the heat?
He's not getting that car in there.
No, sir.
Hey, look at these two troublemakers.
Johnny, how are you?
Wicked car. Is that new?
Yeah, it's a Sonata. Let me park it.
Oh, you're not fitting your car in there.
Chris, stop being a smarty pants, all right? Look who's got Smart Park. Even Bruiser can park it. Just hit the clicker. I can park it anywhere.
Beaver Stadium?
Parked it.
Even the Jordan Center?
Parked it.
Even Medler Field?
Even Bruiser parked it.
Hey, you can't park there.
He's got Smart Pack.
Wicked smart.
Blaze Alexander Hyundai. It's wicked smart.